To align these three sprockets, start by taking the chain off. To do this, you can grab hold of the bottom of the jockey sprocket, pull it forward, the chain will go loose and you can take it off. For older ovens that have this centre boss arrangement, it is actually drilled and pinned through here, making this plate sprocket very difficult to adjust up and down. So we'll take that as our datum and we'll make everything to suit this sprocket. Start by taking a straight edge, going across the plate sprocket and coming down to the little sprocket here. So using a straight edge, we want to line up the height of these two sprockets for a start. It is very important that this sprocket here is in perfect alignment with the plate sprocket, or it'll chop out very quickly. To adjust the height of the small sprocket, we can simply use flat washers between these two mounting plates here. This mounting plate here is attached to the flat pulley, so if we loosen off the 4 bolts that are, there's the one in there, if we loosen off those 4 and put flat washer spacers underneath this plate, we can adjust the height of this sprocket here, and once again until it is level with the plate sprocket. If we do adjust the height of this small sprocket and raise it, the belt will track lower on the outer flat pulley. So please make sure that it doesn't track completely off the flat pulley. Running on the bottom edge of it is fine, but you cannot have any belt below the thickness of the flat pulley. To adjust the height of the jockey sprocket, take your straight edge and go across the plate sprocket to the jockey sprocket. These two should be perfectly level. To adjust the height of the jockey sprocket, we have a locking collar on top and a locking collar underneath. They can be adjusted to suit the height. Please take note that there are rod ends at the other end of this arm. We can just see one here. Make sure that they are tight, and on some of the earlier models, this is the only way that you can adjust the height of the jockey sprocket, is to slide these rod ends up and down in their running slot. To adjust the idler sprocket on early model ovens that do not have an adjustable collar above and below. To gain access to this, we will start by removing these facade panels. To remove the facade flap, use a 10mm spanner and undo the nylock nut at each end of the flap in here, and we can remove the flap. Undo these 4 screws. One here, one there, one up under here and one down here. This will allow you to remove the outer facade panel. With the facade panel now removed, we can use a 4mm Allen key and take this light fitting out. So we take the screw out and the light fitting will come out completely. With the light fitting removed, we can now get into the adjustments. Here we see the 2 rod ends that work for the pivots for the chain tensioner. These must be tight. These also offer adjustment that will skew the sprocket as required. So if we loosen off the bottom one, there is a little bit of movement forwards and backwards to adjust the flatness of the sprocket to sprocket alignment. To move the whole sprocket up and down, we can add and remove flat washers on this thread here. After reassembly, ensure that the wiring harness for the lights are nowhere near the edge of the plate sprocket. Lubricate the chain with never seize. Run the system and ensure there are no clicks or noises and that the chain is running smoothly.